Yo, what up, Street Dogs? There, Kim. So currently we're experiencing a brave new world of earthing. So I wanted to use this chance to just kind of share my personal thoughts and my opinions on the fate of the earth and the future. So first and foremost, just remember, we've been through worse before. This ain't that big of a deal in terms of human history. And even thinking about like what our parents went through, thinking about the wars, the famines, the blights, the plagues that have afflicted us in the past, this is just a cakewalk. So basically, I want to make the optimistic notion that what we're experiencing right now isn't as bad as what we experienced in the past. And perhaps the best way for us to approach this situation is for us to, in terms of our personal response, to be measured about it. And also for us not to, like, obviously it's a big problem, it's a big deal, but for us also not to make too big of a deal about it either. So for example, you know, obviously a lot of people are dying, which is very unfortunate, but consider all the people who die of like drug overdoses, you know, cancer, AIDS, heart disease, you know, drunk drivers and stuff like that. Or think about all the people in other countries who are dying of famine, hunger, thirst, getting killed by, you know, these unjust societies and these unjust peoples in the world. All the slavery which still exists even in Syria right now. So I think right now is our chance to essentially toughen up and for us to learn how to adapt to the new times. And I feel a little bit on the fence about the notion of adaptation, because on one hand, it like, you know, I don't 100% believe in just like the super basic philosophies of Charles Darwin. Throw him in. In the sense that, you know, in today's world, it's not even about survival of the fittest, because generally most of us humans, we're not going to die for the most part from just, you know, most of us aren't going to die from this. Most of us will be fine. So it's more of like, how can you best thrive in today's, you know, chaotic and insane world? So basically my thoughts are this. It makes no sense to just kind of complain and bemoan, you know, the downsides of the reality right now, but figure out how to use this difficulty, this chaos, this stress and this resistance, and to make it, to help make you stronger. So for example, you know, at the gym, if you want to become stronger, how do you get stronger at the gym? You have to keep increasing the weights, the resistance, and keep lifting heavier weights. And so even now, what we're experiencing is, it's like we're having to lift a heavier weight, and the weight is a lot heavier and more difficult, and it's a lot harder. And so it looks like what we're trying to do is actually become stronger. And once again, it's not just survival, because once again, most of us are going to survive this just fine. It's more of learning how to use difficult times and to thrive from the difficulty. So these are some basic notions. So first and foremost, I think ever since it's been happening, I'm actually personally a lot less distracted. Like, I think consumerism, capitalism, you know, going to restaurants, coffee shops, the mall, the bar, it's like a whack distraction for the most of us. And instead, we could be using our energy, our willpower, and our force to create artworks, to write, to think, to philosophize, and so forth. And so now that everyone's just stuck at home, it could really be a great opportunity for you to share your epicness with others in starting your own website, in starting your own blog, in sharing your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas. And not only that, but because the whole world's on pause, it means that your job duties and your other duties is actually not that important right now, which means you could actually focus on more existential, more philosophical pursuits and aims. So treat this really as an opportunity for you to become a philosopher. There's a saying by Zeno, I think, is like, I became shipwrecked, he lost everything, but thank God that happened because that is what allowed me to become a philosopher. So I think maybe the best way to live life is where we could take tragedy, calamity, and these things, and for us to actually genuinely be happy that it happened to us. Like, even like a thought that I've been having is, you know, I kind of grew up with trauma, blah blah, and difficulty. I'm actually really grateful for it, because if I had my life where I had my trauma growing up and it made me a stronger person versus being fed a silver spoon and becoming a soft, weak person, I would a trillion times prefer my hard knock life. And so hard things are actually desirable. It's, if anything, I think more people are suffering from depression because life is too easy and predictable. So maybe right now could be a chance for people to kind of shake things up and actually make people's lives a little more interesting. So right now, don't think about the downsides. Only think about the potential upsides, how you can thrive from this chaos, and realize that, you know, the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, is definitely apt. And perhaps it's precisely the energy, the force, the difficulty, the stress, the resistance, which threatens to destroy you, and your body reacts back, is what's going to help us become stronger.